Hello, and welcome to Wealth is Possible, the show where we talk about personal finance and building wealth. We are your hosts, Vino, Vince, and Evan. We'll be discussing various methods of building wealth and growing your cash flow, including the stock market, real estate, cryptocurrency, and various business ventures. Alright guys, welcome back to Wealth is Possible. This is the second episode of our crypto series. The first episode we went over cryptocurrencies in general. Then we went over Bitcoin and a little bit of the fundamentals, key points, major milestones of Bitcoin. In this episode we're going to talk about Ethereum, and after that we're going to kind of jump into a discussion about the world's views on cryptocurrency so far, the past about 13 years, right? So now, what we're gonna do here, we're gonna jump in. We're gonna get into Ethereum. Ethereum is a digital currency just like all the others, but the technology behind it is what matters, and it is what makes it the second biggest crypto in the history, with a current market cap of $392 billion. Right? What do you guys know about Ethereum?
So I think Chamath was pretty big on Ethereum. I mean, he's big on Solana as well. A lot of the investor podcasts I listen to, they talk about a lot about, look at who is investing, who are the people that are in investing into the projects, like what are the projects on the platform, rather than utility specifically focusing on the projects and what are how much money is being poured into those projects to build on Ethereum, on whatever, and you can tell from that essentially, the utility of it, right? Because if the project, like, there's different types of projects, right? There's that, we know about NFTs, but like there's different types of projects that can be built, right? Are they all NFTs? I don't know. There's other things.
So just to kind of clear it up a little bit, Ethereum is a platform that runs on a blockchain, just like all the other cryptocurrencies, and is a platform that allows other apps and platforms and tokens and coins to be built on the Ethereum platform, right? So that's kind of how that works.
Kind of like Flowcoin. We went over NBA Top Shot.
Yes.
Flowcoin is on Ethereum.
Sure Flowcoin is on
the Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah. Right. So
or Flow token. Whatever.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. So Ethereum is the cryptocurrency with the biggest ecosystem. Yeah. It has the most amount of projects built on it, apps built on it.
A lot of the NFTs, they
OpenSea. OpenSea is like the marketplace
Ethereum
for NFTs, and you can only buy with Ethereum. You know what? You can't buy with Bitcoin. You can't buy with anything else. Yeah. Only Ethereum.
Exactly.
Yeah. Every single time you see on Instagram someone like, oh, this NFT went up $1 million or whatever, you can only buy these NFTs with Ethereum.
Yes. Yes.
And Ethereum also has a guy behind it, Vitaly, whatever his name is.
Vitalik Buterin.
Yeah. So he's behind.
So it's
Ethereum.
not like a Bitcoin where,
Satoshi Nakamoto is no longer.
There's a company behind it. That's the thing. He was the creator, but he doesn't have power over Bitcoin now.
He stepped aside. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Ethereum is decentralized, but it still has a company that kind of runs the organization.
Is Vitaly still part of that boardroom and stuff?
Yes,
he
is.
imagine, right?
Right. So
what is Vitaly worth right now? Isn't he like Is he a billionaire?
He's a billionaire. Yeah. He had billionaire status a little while ago. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. So, moving on, Ethereum is a decentralized computing platform that uses the Ethereum coin, also called Ether, to pay transaction fees or gas fees. Developers can use Ethereum to run decentralized applications, dApps, to issue new crypto assets known as Ethereum tokens, and also to build NFTs on it as well. Right? So just
I think Bored Ape Club and all those guys, like all the mainstream guys, pull Ethereum only, no? Or Ethereum is one of their main payment. No. I know a lot of NFTs you can actually buy with fiat. Yeah. But Ethereum is one of the main payments.
Wait, is that true?
No, so things like NBA Top Shot.
Yeah,
you can buy with your fiat.
Yeah, you guys can actually watch the NBA Top Shot video by clicking that link up there. by the way.
Right, so that's NBA Top Shot. NFL has its own that's coming out soon. If it's not already out, it's already out. It's also on the Flow blockchain as well, right? So those kind of things you buy with fiat. You have
Visa,
the
option of buying
your
it with crypto, but
you have the option, but you can buy that with Visa, MasterCard, or debit Visa.
But Bored Ape is Ethereum.
But when you're looking at OpenSea and all these NFTs, mainly Ethereum is the currency that is used to perform these transactions. OpenSea is the largest NFT marketplace today.
Is that where Bored Ape is being hosted from, or is Bored Ape its own thing?
That I'm pretty sure that's where Bored Ape is.
Every NFT like this. Now we're going on a whole different tangent. We should have a whole episode on NFTs.
Yeah.
But not just to keep it short.
Yeah.
I just want to say that NFTs, like the board, every NFT has its own website.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I could be wrong, but it might be. I think it's .io. It's like something .io, boardape.com.io or something like that.
Yeah.
And then from that website, they basically say, okay, they give you a link to go to their page on OpenSea. Where
OpenSea is the marketplace. That's where you do the transactions. That's where you purchase and sell your NFTs, right? We're definitely gonna go into NFTs later on, create tutorials and etc. Right?
But basically, like in addition to being the marketplace, OpenSea is also kind of where when you connect it to your MetaMask, which we've talked about in previous episodes, we'll go into it in depth later, but in connection with your MetaMask, that's kind of where you store your collection of NFTs. So when people talk about the metaverse, and you're essentially like your trophy room, kind of your room of collectibles and stuff.
Yes.
Like that's essentially housed within OpenSea. You have to log into your account on OpenSea in order for to be able to see your collection of all the art or all the NFTs that you've purchased before. They're all stored within your MetaMask, which is connected.
Which is a wallet. It's
a wallet that connects you to your collection
OpenSea.
in OpenSea.
Yes.
And all this stuff to like the average person listening right now probably seems like rocket science.
But we'll have a video literally dissecting all of this.
Yeah.
Yes,
It's just like Facebook or Instagram. When you first started using the platform, you're probably like, okay, bro, I have no idea how to use this, but
it's very new, but it's not rocket science.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So obviously, like when you buy into it and you're invested and you play around with it on the actual platform, then it'll make a lot more sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continue.
So, in 2013, a 19-year-old computer program named Vitalik Buterin released a white paper proposing a highly flexible blockchain that could support virtually any kind of transaction. In 2014, Vitalik, along with a team of co-founders, including Gavin Wood, crowdfunded the development of the Ethereum protocol with the sale of 18 million in pre-launch tokens. In 2015, the first public version of the Ethereum blockchain launched in July, and the smart contract functionality began to roll out on the Ethereum blockchain. So it's mainly a smart contract platform as well, and it's a platform that allows for these contracts to be built, and it provides that security, right? It's not going to it's like writing a contract with a lawyer, right? Same way when you write a smart contract on a blockchain, it's set in stone.
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody can go in there and change it and stuff
exactly.
after. Like Gary Vee is actually really big on smart contracts. Like, I remember like during his 2022, either 2021 end of year or 2022 beginning of year. I forgot which video it was. I don't even know if he dropped 2022 at the beginning. But he one of the biggest things he told to look into and research was smart contracts, because he says smart contracts are going to be the future,
and he's been big on Ethereum for years.
Yeah. And Gary Vee, if you guys have been following along with him, like he's always ahead of the curve with all the new tech, and like like he's also one of the early investors in Uber, and like
he's really big on trends, social media trends.
Exactly. So he's usually really good on like what's about to happen next. So Gary Vee's a good place to start. Well, obviously Wealth is Possible is a good place to start too, but Gary Vee's also another good.
We'll drop a link to his channel.
Yeah, we'll drop a link to his channel.
For
if
sure.
you guys go there because of us, make sure you guys leave a comment on him, letting them know that Wealth is Possible
where you
podcast.
came from.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe
right.
one day we can have him on our show.
For sure. So at the moment, Ethereum runs on a proof of work system, which means it is mined just like Bitcoin. But there is an upgrade that is currently being worked on, which will transition the Ethereum platform from proof of work to proof of stake. What this means is that the Ethereum will be secured by a global network of validators running Ethereum software while staking a certain amount of Ethereum tokens. Once this upgrade is complete, anyone with an Ethereum stake and computer meeting the requirements can become a validator. So basically what this means is that right now Ethereum runs on a proof of work system. Basically means that it's being mined, which has its downfalls, right? So that's why the the founder and the organization's working on moving into a proof of stake system, because that will allow most of the downfalls to disappear. One of the biggest being high gas fees, right?
Okay. So this, you know how they're transition. You said they're transitioning it.
So they're transitioning to it's basically called Ethereum 2.0.
Yeah.
Right?
So the downfall of the proof of work is that something that exists for Bitcoin, or is it like non-existent thing for Bitcoin and it's not even like relevant? Like it's just only doesn't make sense. Is that like a valid question? Like I don't know.
It's hard. It's a hard question to answer. Especially with my knowledge base. I'm still learning too.
Yeah. But like, are they like? Is it like comparing apples to oranges, or is there any sort of comparison in terms of the?
Not really, because like what Bitcoin does is completely different from Ethereum. Yeah. Right. So Bitcoin.
So you're saying it is like comparing apples and oranges.
Exactly.
Like you can't compare in that sense, right?
Yeah. Bitcoin, like we mentioned in the previous episode, you guys can click it and watch it up above. Like Bitcoin's not really like a platform for technology. It's more of like a store of value, right? So Ethereum is more of like a technology.
Exactly.
Right. That's where they kind of differ. And once again, it's going back to the whole cryptocurrency name for it. It's very misleading because it's more than a currency. It's a crypto technology.
There's most of these cryptocurrencies have a technology behind it and a use case which actually gives it its value. Yeah. Right. It's a currency second, I would say. Yeah. So Ethereum has the largest ecosystem of all the cryptocurrencies, and thousands of tokens worth billions of dollars live on the Ethereum blockchain, including many stablecoins which are crucial to the cryptocurrency market. Right? So that's a big fact, right? Yeah. A lot of people trust Ethereum enough to build their entire platforms on its protocol, on its blockchain, right? So that's causing a lot of demand for Ethereum. It's giving Ethereum a good name. A lot of people trust it. A lot of people build on it, right? It has the most amount of developers. It has the most amount of tokens built on it, right?
I want to say it's kind of like Facebook too, where there's a lot of developers that create apps and stuff for Facebook.
Exactly.
Remember, I don't know if they still do that. I haven't really been on Facebook as much because it's kind of like not that old and shit. But I remember back in the day, like Facebook used to have their own games. They had their own
like poker and all that.
All within the Facebook platform. Yes. So I think Ethereum is more of like a Facebook.
It's similar to that in a sense.
Yeah. And I know Facebook has like their own. I think Facebook does have their own payment system, or do they only take fiat in terms of?
I'm pretty sure they only take fiat.
They only take fiat. And once again, for the guys that just tuned in, fiat means the dollar, which is fiat actually means fake.
It's basically a currency that's not backed by anything or
exactly.
Yeah.
And you guys can click the link above me to learn more about fiat and inflation and all that stuff.
So I mentioned stable coins, right? So what is a stable coin? A stable coin is a class of cryptocurrencies that attempt to offer price stability and are backed by a reserve asset. Stable coins have gained traction as they attempt to offer the best of both worlds. The instant processing and security or privacy of payments of cryptocurrencies and the volatility-free stable valuations of fiat currencies. Right?
I think that's another big thing with cryptocurrencies as well. The average investor, we mentioned this in the previous episode as well. The average investor is like a little bit like afraid to jump into crypto because of the volatility. So stable coins is less volatile. Yes. So for those that don't know what volatile means, volatile literally just means like the price will go up one day and it'll go down the other day, like, and it'll be like a big jump. Like big swings, it'll be severe, you know. So like less volatile means that the prices won't change. It'll kind of be a little bit more stable, hence the name stable coin. And then like if it's more volatile, that means that the price will be like, for example, Bitcoin was at almost 69,000 high, and now it's at what, like 36,000 at the time of recording. Once again, this is what, January. We're recording this Sunday, January 30th, 2022. Right? So yeah, you know, so stablecoin kind of offers a little bit more of that stability. Literally in the wording.
Exactly. So Ethereum has tens of millions of monthly users, millions of NFTs, and thousands of decentralized apps that are built on it, right? So it's a very widely used platform. You know, that's also why the demand has gone crazy for it. That's why you can see the price increase has gone up like crazy in the past couple of years, right? And
they also do make the comparison to silver. So Bitcoin is comparable to gold, and they would say Ethereum is comparable to silver. Yeah.
I've heard that as well, for sure. Alrighty. So Ethereum's endless number of use cases has created a serious demand for the coin. Although Ethereum is inflationary at the moment and doesn't have a max supply, the London upgrade that took place in the summer of 2021 introduced partial transaction fee burns to every Ethereum transaction. What this means is that with enough activity on the blockchain, it can one day become deflationary, which has led some well-known investors to call Ethereum ultrasound money. It's a very cool fact, right?
I like the sound of that,
ultrasound money. Unlike Bitcoin, though, Ethereum does have some serious competition, as the platform does have downfalls like scalability issues and high transaction fees. The Ethereum's founder does promise positive changes in the near future with the Ethereum 2.0 upgrade that solve many of the current issues. This upgrade is set to take place around June of 2022. So this is a big upgrade
later this year.
Oh,
so is this the Ethereum 2.0 coming this year?
Yes. Okay. It's scheduled for about June 2022. It can get delayed, but that's what we're looking at right now.
And what do they promise in that? Do you know if it's like, I think it's like faster services?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, the main thing is that it's gonna go from proof of work to proof of stake, which will now allow the scalability issues to be solved.
What is the scalability issues? Do you know what it is?
A scalability issue is basically just means that to be able to grow with Ethereum, right, and scale up with Ethereum, and the amount that you can build on Ethereum, it's kind of limited right now.
It's limited.
So you're saying like in terms of like people, like when people developers come to Ethereum, they're essentially building a company, right?
Exactly, they're building a company on top of their network and their protocol.
Yeah, because I know from like NBA Top Shot, the company is called Dapper. Dapper Labs.
Exactly.
Based out of Vancouver. They built that platform on Ethereum.
Yes.
Right? So
they built a flow token on the Ethereum blockchain. Yeah. And then they built that NBA Top Shot platform.
Yeah, and in order for them to continue to scale it, they Ethereum 2.0 is kind of that's good for them, right? That coming out is good for their platform, right?
Exactly.
That's what you're talking about when the scalability.
Right? And obviously the biggest thing is the gas fees, the high transaction fees / gas fees.
About Ethereum,
right?
Yeah.
So once this upgrade takes place, that should solve that problem.
That's actually why I didn't buy an NFT, the gas fees.
Yeah. But it does cost a lot, but
what would be like an example of a gas fee? Like, for example,
I don't know the exact percentages. But
I know it's like something ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. It's like you're paying like a really high percentage in transaction fees just because of Ethereum's platform. And
I think when I went to buy one, right, I was ready to pull the trigger. It was I didn't really factor in the gas fees. I think I probably like 0.1 Ethereum. I kind of left. I was gonna buy something for 0.1 Ethereum, less than the total Ethereum that I held. Yeah, and I couldn't end up buying it because the gas fees were more than 0.1 Ethereum.
Wow,
0.1 Ethereum is like at that time was like
10% of like it was like probably $3,500 USD or $3,000 USD.
It's like
so
3 bills,
300 that makes no sense. And then the NFT would be like what, like 2 bills.
No, three. The NFT would be like around $1,000 or something like.
$1,000.
It's like a good, like 30% of what the NFT costs.
That
or
is
something.
high.
That's more than taxes.
So
right?
correct us if we were wrong. Like if this is not possible, and I'm just like I'm remembering.
No, that makes
remembering it
sense.
wrong.
That makes sense.
You know what else is possible though? What is possible?
So yeah, like Ethereum, it's the second biggest cryptocurrency. Bitcoin and Ethereum are the big dogs, right?
I remember seeing Ethereum at like $200, like in 2016 or something.
I started buying Ethereum when it was like $300 USD.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I started buying it when it went to 4Gs.
Wow.
$4,000. Yeah.
It's crazy, guys.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I watched the video.
It's crazy, like when you see it. Back then, I was like, what is this? Like, is there something to buy? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, you understand, if you understood the utility back then,
technology and stuff behind it,
you'd be doing pretty well right now, right?
100%.
You'd be pretty happy with what you did.
Yeah.
And
it's still very early, bro. It's still very, very, very early.
It all goes back to what Warren Buffett says. Buy what you know.
Yeah.
Buy what you understand.
Yeah. Because then, like we mentioned in the previous episode, when it goes down, if you don't want to truly understand it, you're gonna panic sell. You're just gonna lose your money.
Yeah, and then you wasted your own time and your money.
Yeah, exactly. That money could have been used for something else. Even if it meant you bought like 200 cheeseburgers from like Burger King and shit. You still ate that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, instead of eating a loss.
For sure. So moving on, guys. That was Ethereum. What I want to go into now is FUD. You guys know what FUD means?
Fear, something, doubt. Uncertainty, doubt.
Fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Right. So when the market is in a bear cycle or is bearish, a lot of people start having that FUD and start talking about the FUD. Right. Yeah. So I want to go over
what is the bearish market for the people that don't know?
Bearish basically just means like negative, right? Negativity in terms of like the price action, right?
Yeah, the market is pretty much performing shit.
Yeah, the market is performing like shit. The price is going down. Nobody likes bear market, right? So I want to go into
bears.
Exactly, except for the bears, right? Because
shorty.
Exactly. There is still ways to make money in a bear market, right? We can go into that later. But yeah, so at this point, it's obvious the mainstream media, governments around the world, and central banks all have an issue with cryptocurrency. Why? The reason is because it allows for people to take the power out of the hands of the governments and the central banks. We do not need to turn to them to create, control, and monitor our fiat currency anymore. This fiat currency, which we all use and allowed to run the entire world's economy, was created by these banks and governments and is not backed by anything, which is why they can print endless amounts at their will. And this is also why inflation is at all-time highs. This is the reason why you will see so many headlines and articles about why crypto is bad and should not be taken seriously and why it should ultimately be abolished.
Yes, right? And like I always say, mainstream media does not want you to get rich. They want you to stay poor. Yeah,
exactly.
They don't want you to get rich. When's the last time mainstream media actually put you on? When's the last time? Have they ever really put you on? Have they ever given you some sort of wealth opportunity? Even the most basic asset class, the most trustworthy asset class, buying real estate in Toronto. Do they ever tell you? Yeah.
Well,
you could
I
buy
mean,
real
I
estate.
stopped listening to the mainstream media a long time ago.
Of course,
so
I think.
But you know what the advantages of living in this generation that we live in, like you have the choice of alternative media, which there's a platform called YouTube, where anybody can essentially put you on.
Yeah.
Right? And it's you have a choice to either, go and search, right? When you say, Heaven said in a previous episode, he who seeketh findeth, right? So you have the ability to actually search and find the answers and actually get put on.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're trying to, encourage essentially.
Yeah, like
that's why what this whole podcast is about. We're trying to encourage you to go and seek the answers and get put on.
Yeah, this is the information era. Like right now is the easiest time to like learn about shit, make money, enter markets and stuff. Like right now is the earliest time. Back in the day, if you wanted to know about markets, you had to go to probably school. You had to probably go work like on Wall Street or some shit, right? Like or like be
you had to chase down other people. and ask them for the answers.
Exactly. And like you don't even know if that person is verified or not. Like now it's so easy. Like like now it's so easy. You can literally.
The only thing stopping you from really making
stuff,
money from investing in something is you don't understand it.
Yeah.
And what do you have to do to understand it? Literally search what is blah blah blah.
What the fuck is this?
And there's a video there. There's somebody literally curated a whole video based on hours and hours of research they did.
Yeah.
And they're giving it to you for free.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Why would you not want that?
It's kind of like what we do too, right?
Yeah.
Like we hours and hours of research. We just compress it into this one.
These
one
few
spot
minutes of a podcast, right?
On this wooden desk,
and all of a sudden, wealth is possible, right?
I love it, guys. I love it.
Yeah.
So what I pulled up here, guys, what I did is I searched on Google Bitcoin obituaries. It's a very interesting site.
What? Bitcoin obituaries,
right?
Crazy,
it's very interesting, right?
Yeah.
It's called 99bitcoins.com/Bitcoin obituaries. And it's a very, very, very interesting website. What this website shows you is how many times Bitcoin has died according to the mainstream media. All those news articles that'll be like, Bitcoin has crashed 50%. It's over. It's done.
It's over.
You know what I mean? China banned
Bitcoin. Yo, guys, it's done. We told you. Yeah. It's done.
It's done, right? Yeah. So on this website here, it's showing me.
Hold on, I'm gonna add on to that. Meanwhile, the people who pay for the mainstream media during those times, they're buying more.
They're accumulating.
They're loading up.
They're loading the boat, right?
Yeah.
So that's how the game goes, right?
Yeah.
So over here on this website, it's showing me here Bitcoin has died 444 times. Since its inception.
444. Oh my gosh.
It's this is
can't make this shit up, bro. Can't make this shit up, bro.
I'll make this up, man. You guys are here at the right time, at the right place.
At the right place, yeah.
So just for some just for fun.
Yeah.
Let's look at some of these titles, right? So 2010, a year after it was released, 2010.
We're gonna put a link to this website.
We'll put a link to it.
By the way.
This is fake news, by the way. This is all fake news. We'll put all the fake news sites down below if you guys want to go check it out. You might see some reputable names there.
2011, one news article. Bitcoins aren't secure, as both the recent theft and this password problem show. They're not liquid nor a store of value, as the price collapse shows. And if they're none of those things, then they'll not be a great medium of exchange either, as who would want to accept them? It is difficult to see what this currency has going for it, right?
That is fake news.
So that's 2011. Let's jump to 2015, right? Let's read another couple ones. Former Bitcoin companies are erasing their embarrassing bits. The Guardian. This is at a price of $318. More dirt on Bitcoin. Plata, $319. Bitcoin is a non-thing. It will never be able to have an independent sovereign value.
You know who wants to spread FUD about Bitcoin?
Yeah.
And these great, wealth creating assets?
Yeah.
People who already own those assets and want it for cheaper.
Yeah.
You
know they're also the ones who would short it too.
That's exactly what it is.
Shake up all the retail investors and stuff, and then buy
it for cheaper.
Buy it for cheaper. Why not? Why not? You're the one who didn't do your research.
Those are the people that are creating these articles.
Yeah.
And this news.
And you can't be like, oh, these guys are bad guys. They're not bad guys. You're the bad guy because you bought into something you don't understand.
Yeah.
You're the bad guy. Yeah. He's not a bad guy. He's doing it because he understands it.
Yeah.
So another one here from 2017.
Crazy episode.
Yeah, just
why Bitcoin investors are like stamp collectors, and this is at a price of $14,617.
Okay.
This is probably during that 2017 bull run when it went from couple
What do they mean by stamp collectors? Stamp collectors means
you're like nobody.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're saying it in a negative way.
Stamps aren't worth a lot.
They're saying it in a negative
way. As in the average, because the average person collects stamps and this and that, and at the end of the day, sometimes it might not even have any true value.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like some of the younger people don't even know what stamps are. Right?
Yeah, right.
They're probably like, yo, what is that?
Is that something I send on email?
Literally.
Yeah.
Here's another one.
Yeah.
Why Bitcoin is the largest Ponzi scheme in human history?
Hold on, one sec. One sec. I'm gonna pause you there.
Yeah.
for all younger viewers over there, if you guys don't understand what a stamp is, make sure you guys leave a comment down below. We'll be more than happy to tell you what a stamp is.
Oh yeah, we'll do some research for you guys.
And while you're down there, make sure you like and subscribe as well, so you guys can learn more things like what stamps mean.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
there's a thing called snail mail. No.
Yo, you guys say that for another episode. They're going too deep.
Here's another title. News article.
Yeah.
2017, the Great Bitcoin Scam. Forbes, while the price is at $16,000.
Forbes.
You know, Forbes is a good chunk
China?
of Forbes is owned by China. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You guys know that? That's why a lot of their titles and stuff based off recent events have been very interesting and un-American like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This is actually really, really enlightening for people. I feel like, you know, because like
it shows
this,
like
this is how the world works.
Yeah.
Right. This is how the reality is.
Right now, what's happening is that a lot of the major institutions like universities, all these big corporations, banks and stuff, they're slowly losing their credibility and their power based off recent events. A lot of people are seeing what they're really about. I don't know if they had pure intentions when they were started off, but clearly some sort of parasites have gotten involved in these institutions and don't have the best interest for humankind. So that's why this whole,
you could say greed.
Right. Yeah, something. It's probably multiple factors, but that's why a lot of these, when we pull our money out of these institutions and we reinvest it back into like the new world, which is like cryptocurrencies that are run by the people, it's a lot harder for corruption to take place in these institutions. And like right now, we flip on to like our parents' generation would flip onto like CP, like I don't want to put any names. We'll flip onto like mainstream news channels and stuff to get their information, which have probably provided real information back in the day. But now that they're showing their true colors and they're literally spreading misinformation on these mainstream platforms, I think our generation and the future generations are going to rely on like sources from like the internet or like other reputable sources that have made a name for themselves over time, right? So I think that's another big thing that's happening with crypto.
Every day people are losing faith in that mainstream media,
because like these are like mainstream reputable sites that are saying this shit, and this is a very short-sighted, short-term mindset,
very narrow view.
Exactly,
right?
and I guarantee you, what's this guy's name who wrote this shit?
Sophia Alex. I
guarantee you Sophia Alex doesn't know jack shit about Bitcoin.
Exactly.
I guarantee you that. And she's probably making like less than $100,000.
Exactly.
This goes back to FUD, right? You were talking about FUD.
That's what this is. That's
what
it is.
It's literally you know, and when you instill fear upon your people, it's easier to control and manipulate them. That's basic psychology. You know?
Exactly. Right.
So going back, you know, like everything, like, you know, Tesla, you know, look at where Tesla is now. Look at Tesla 10 years ago, right? There is, look at how much FUD has been spread about Tesla. You know what I mean? How many people drive Teslas today? You know what I mean? How many people are worshiping Elon Musk? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like anything that has some sort of value, there's gonna be the opposing side.
There's gonna be resistance.
Just like when you're succeeding, and there's always gonna be haters. You're always gonna have haters, right? Like that's just how the world works.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So just because there's people against something does not mean necessarily that it's a scam or just because a news article says whatever, it doesn't mean it's a scam.
It's another perspective, but really, does that change any of the fundamentals that have been there since the beginning? I don't think so. Right?
So like, at the end of the day, your wealth, like the amount of wealth you can potentially create is determined by how much you're willing to look into whatever you're trying to invest in and understand how much understanding you have of how the world works.
Like you got to do your own research and think for yourself and not let some other third party entity like make you think a certain way, because that's literally programming. That's why they call it a TV program,
because we live in a capitalistic society, right?
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Exactly.
FUD is essentially you're transferring the wealth, right? They're transferring the wealth from the impatient to the patient.
Exactly.
Right?
So then that's what creates, for that era, that's what creates the upper class and the peasant class. Like that. It's literally through it. I would say at this point, from what I've learned throughout life, it all starts with information. Information and lack of information and understanding.
Yes.
You know, if you're too lazy to do the work and do your own research, and you're going to rely on these institutions, you're more than likely going to stay poor.
Yeah. Remember how you said in the previous episode, you were like, you know, if everyone had the same amount of money,
exactly,
the same people will end up rich.
Exactly,
the same people will end up
it's going to end up because it's all based off information. It's based off what you know and what you don't know, right? And if you're like, oh, yo, this is a scam, guess what? You scammed yourself. Because you're still poor, bro. Yeah. You're still poor.
It's a scam based off of one headline.
Right? Exactly. Yeah. You're still poor, right? And like, yo, like whatever. Like, okay, they're going to drop these headlines and then Bitcoin's going to keep doing its thing. Ethereum's going to keep doing its thing. Exactly. All these other asset classes are going to keep doing its thing.
That's the reason why I want to bring this up, right? It's to show people that you might hear it here and there, but it doesn't mean it's the truth. You'll on this website, it shows you that they've tried to tell you 444 times that Bitcoin is dead, right? But it's still going.
Where is it now?
Going. Even the times they told you is an alignment number, bro. Like it's 444.
Man, that's
like,
not
wake
joke.
Up, bro.
You can't make that up.
Can't make that shit up, bro. You can't make that shit up.
This is a great like argument right there.
Yeah.
Not financial advice, but it's a great argument.
Oh yeah. I mean, you know, you really want to do your research, but this is amazing.
And it's crazy because we're gonna drop this link in the description, and people can go read these for themselves.
Go read it, check the dates, and then watch and check the dates and see what the same institution said about the same asset class 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, and how much they switch. Yo, these guys, they switch up, bro. Yeah, they switch up. That's what they do.
Does it show the price of Bitcoin at the time of each news article and stuff?
Okay, for example, 2019.
All of them have the published date and stuff. Yeah,
that's crazy.
2019, it's a pyramid scheme. Yahoo Finance. $7,000.
Yahoo Finance, bro.
Yahoo Finance, bro. Yeah.
You know,
they don't even truly understand it. They didn't really we didn't even really understand it, so we can't really blame them either. But no, these guys, a lot. I don't want to get into this too deep right now, but a lot of these mainstream institutions don't have your best interest, and they're owned by major corporations that don't have your best interests. And one corporation owns a lot of things. Just do your research. I don't want to get too deep
research.
Yeah,
we're not trying to guide you and tell you what to do, but just open up your minds, guys.
Open up your mind. Question everything.
See what's
going on.
Everything. This is new technology, and it's changing a lot of people's lives.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, and like you really want to be on top of your research and understanding of cryptocurrency. Like once again, like I mentioned, and even in the previous episode, that this is a future. This is going to be the future technology. This is where the money's going to be. Technology usually follows with your pocket as well, right? Like you got to follow where the money and everything's going. You got to, and that's where the future is going to lead. Yeah. It doesn't even matter what institution you're in. You could be in car sales. You could be in real estate. You can be in HVAC. You can be in whatever, right? You can literally be in whatever, and like you're going to need to learn these technologies over time, because even if you're doing the most basic task, like think about somebody before the early 2000s, and they're like, yo, fuck internet, I'm never going to use that. Bro, if you want to use it, you want to open up your bank account, you're going to use internet. Yeah. You want the easiest side hustle, you want to download Uber, you're going to have to use internet. You're a car mechanic, yo, guess what? The new cars are going to have all this tech, all this stuff built. Maybe cars are going to have crypto. I wouldn't be surprised if cars had like some sort of crypto technology in it.
Yo, you know what people told Jeff Bezos when he was first starting Amazon?
Yeah.
They're like, people aren't going to buy anything on the internet.
On the internet, yeah.
How many people have Amazon Prime?
Exactly. So many of you guys have Amazon Prime, you don't even know what you're paying for. Go check your bank statements.
Exactly. Online shopping, it has high delivery fees, it's never gonna work. Yeah. Right? But the world shifts, this paradigm shifts.
Yeah.
New technologies emerge. It just changes the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening right now. We really hope you guys look into cryptocurrencies.
That's why we're putting a huge importance on crypto. We literally have its own episode dedicated to crypto, so that everyone understands what's happening right now. Because, like I said, you don't want to be that old guy that doesn't understand cryptocurrency. Exactly. Because then you're going to be the old guy that doesn't understand internet right now, and your life is literally going to get hard.
Exactly.
You're gonna jump over hurdles and stuff, and eventually people are gonna be like, "Yo, we don't do things the old way anymore. You can only do it through crypto." And you can't.
And it's not about like, you're gonna become a millionaire if you invest in Bitcoin or whatever. We're not saying that. We're not saying that. We're just saying like,
look into it.
Yeah.
Look into it and understand it so that you know what's happening in your world, in your world, so that your life is easier and you're not left scratching your head while everybody else around you is moving ahead.
Because everybody's looking into it, everybody's doing it, but there's going to be people that get left behind. There always is.
Yeah. And if anybody ever tells you that it's too late to get into it, don't be their boy anymore, because it's not too late to get into it. It's super early. It's always going to be super early.
It's not a get rich quick scheme.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's you're investing in the future.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah,
you're investing in technology that's going to be integrated into the future in so many ways.
Exactly, and if you're investing, you're probably going to be investing in something that's going to be something bigger or better in the future. If you believe in your investment, you're investing for the future.
Exactly. You know? Is it gonna grow or not?
Yeah, you're not gonna invest in something that's not gonna be irrelevant in like fucking like 5 years from now or 10 years from now, whatever, right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's not a smart investment.
That's not even an investment. Yeah.
So honestly, guys, with that being said, we hope you guys learned a lot about Ethereum, and we hope you guys learned a lot about fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and why you shouldn't be fearful when everybody else is. Right? And always do your research. Look at the fundamentals. If the fundamentals haven't changed, you probably shouldn't. You start to get fearful, right?
Yeah.
If the fundamentals change, that's a whole nother story and something you should look at, right?
And even like with any sort of investment, whether it's crypto or real estate or whatever, you should always follow the numbers, the analytics, instead of follow the emotions and these news headlines,
news articles.
Exactly, because I remember even at the beginning of like all the lockdowns and the pandemic and all that stuff. I remember, for example, like Toronto condo prices, they were plummeting. Like they weren't plummeting. They're dropping. They're dropping significally, actually, right?
Rents were really low and stuff.
Yeah, the rents were low and stuff because there's multiple factors, but one reason was because of Airbnb. A lot of these Toronto condominiums are used for Airbnb, so they're selling, and there's a lot more on the market, and there's less people buying it. So basic supply and demand. So the prices were dropping. Now, because the prices have gone up of Toronto real estate so high, the most people, they don't even qualify for like a single detached or like a semi-detached or whatever now. All these people are getting bumped down over and over and over again because their affordability factor isn't as... Like, their affordability factor is getting less and less and less because the price of the asset is going up higher and higher and higher.
Yes.
Right? So, if more people can only qualify to purchase a condominium right now, like a condo in downtown Toronto, what do you think is going to happen to the condo townhouse prices? The condominium prices in Toronto. Now it's going to start going back up. This all happened within 2 years' time. So imagine if you were in that moment, you saw everybody else selling their condominium. You probably still made a little bit of money, but you probably didn't make as much money as you could have if you just waited for 2 more years. And that's all falls under FUD. FUD doesn't only happen in cryptocurrency. FUD happens in every investment asset class.
Stock market, everything.
Yeah, and the mainstream media is your biggest enemy if you're trying to make wealth. Stay rich or get rich. If you want to be poor, by all means.
Yep. Don't listen to the FUD guys. Stay true to your conviction.
Do your own research.
Yeah.
Do your own research, and listen to us. Like obviously we're not going too deep into this stuff, but like I said, like in the previous episodes too, we're just a spark. We're just a spark.
I think this episode not only is about crypto, it's about investing in general. FUD is a major thing that people need to understand, and it's gonna be in every opportunity to make money. There's gonna be FUD. There's always going to be FUD.
And instead of paying attention to what the narrative is, pay attention to what's happening. Pay attention to what's actually happening with these institutions. Follow the money. If you follow the money, you can usually see what's going on.
One thing is what they're saying, and then one thing is what they're doing. Right?
Exactly. They'll say one thing, but they'll do the other.
Exactly.
Kind of like the bank.
Kind of like all these major brick and mortar companies, brick and mortar institutions that are falling as we speak about this cryptocurrency.
So true.
A lot of these power hungry people, they're powerless when they don't have their money, and that's where cryptocurrency is going to be stepping in, and the people will have the power back in their hands until the next evil figures out how to get involved in this. And
that's another episode. Even the IMF, International Monetary Fund, they're urging El Salvador to go back to fiat currency and go backwards.
Sounds like FUD.
Exactly.
Sounds like FUD.
And get away from a Bitcoin backed currency, right?
Yeah, that's probably another headline too. I'd assume that's another headline too, right?
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of like negative headlines towards El Salvador is crashing because they switched to Bitcoin and stuff.
But
like the smallest thing will happen. They'd be like, "See, I told you it's a scam."
Yeah,
that's what they want you to do. And then all the people that don't understand it, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm gonna sell my Bitcoin." Yeah,
So there's a lot of people high up in the system, the Federal Reserve, banks, governments that really will have a hard time if these technologies continue to grow, if people start to adopt. A lot of power will be lost, which is why they would want to spread this fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and cause you to get scared and sell and not really get into it, right? But really, we believe that this is going to bring power back into our hands, and we should stay strong, right? All right, guys. We're going to leave it off with that. We hope you guys learned a lot today. Thank you so much for joining us. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell notification, share if you guys thought if it was useful and helpful. And we'll catch you on the next one. Yeah, we're actually on Spotify and Apple Podcasts as well. You guys can go there, download our episodes, so that way you guys can listen to us on your way to work, back from work, on your lunch break, when you're chilling with your ting, when you're chilling with your other ting, when you're chilling with your kids, when you're chilling with your grandkids, when you're chilling with your amma, your appa, your tata and shit. You guys can have one AirPod in there and you guys can listen to our episodes, but only if you download it, because then you're not using the internet and shit, and you're not going to be pissing off other people when you use the internet. Right? Or you're not going over your data. But yeah, guys, follow us. Yeah.